Hi, my name is Kyle, and I'm a second-year computer science student at the University of California, Irvine, and I've just spent this past summer interning for Variantz Singapore. Variantz is a venture that's committed to providing smart living solutions for everyday use for all kinds of people, whether it's a home appliance ecosystem or software solutions for people to use every day to improve daily life. And so as a software engineer here, my main job was to help build the web platform for one of their newer software solutions for improving quality of life. And so the ADD principle has helped me in conducting this by really giving me a framework for how I should iterate and improve my progress over time, and how I can really reflect and build upon what I've done in the past. The try and learn approach is another thing that has helped me in this process, as it's really let me build something and iterate through it and see what's wrong and improve from that, which has really helped in speeding up the development cycle. And I think the three most important traits to have to succeed at a company like Variantz is to be open-minded to different solutions and really hear out other people's ideas, to always collaborate and try to get what you can from everyone here and really put all your heads together to come up with the best solution, and also to be adaptable, because especially for ventures like this, it's hard to just get everything exactly to your expectations. There's always going to be problems or bumps on the way, and I think just being adaptable is really helpful in circumventing those. And coming from the US, work and life over here is much different, I'd say, from the typical experience that I'm used to, because it's much more open-ended in terms of the work environment. The people here, the employees here, they're very open-minded and willing to collaborate and willing to share ideas and spread them around in a way that's really foreign for me back home. So were there any culture shocks in the workplace at Variantz? I think the biggest culture shock was just how I was expected to do things more independently than ever before, where if I was working somewhere else, there would be a concrete set of tasks or deadlines or deliverables, but over here it's really just with an overarching project, how can I get it done and what do I need to do to succeed? And yeah, through constantly meeting with supervisors and other team members, our goal wasn't how can we pump out some small task at the fastest time possible, but just how can we make good progress to actually finishing something. Next question. How did you improve your weaknesses throughout the internship? I think my biggest weakness coming into it that I've noticed I made significant progress on was definitely taking initiative, because without initiative in an environment like this, you really can go nowhere. So just going out there, doing things myself, making decisions when other people aren't necessarily there to hold my hand has really helped me grow in that aspect. Are there any documents or company fields that, if provided, would have improved work efficiency and timeliness? Yeah, this actually relates a lot to the biggest problem or challenge that we had in our project, which was that some of the clients we were working with really had lacked the documentation or providing the documentation for us to succeed. And so we did have to do a lot of pivoting and maneuvering around that fact. And so having those would have been helpful, but I'd say the main takeaway we got from that was that we've really become adaptable as a team in pivoting our entire model to fit what we were given. How has your perspective on working with smart tech changed? I think not really perspective, but just view of the entire field as a whole has definitely increased, where before I only had a set of frameworks that I would have used personally or on the side, but never really being able to go out there and go in the industry and say like, hey, what do these companies use? How can I use it myself, or how can I use this whole conglomerate of different things together to make a single product, where it's definitely less limiting and more open to get something that works. Do you have opportunities to explore areas outside of your core role? Yeah, I'd say for me personally, as strictly a software engineer, I've definitely had much more opportunities to look into the business side of things and how interacting with clients and how managing the business aspects of the technology that we're making work. And that's really a unique opportunity to be able to see all that, whereas before I would probably just be stuck working on just the software. At Variantz, I've been able to branch out and see more from the business side of things. Have you gotten in trouble through the internship, and how did you solve those problems? Yeah, I think going back to one of the previous problems, we had to pivot a lot of our idea and a lot of the deliverables of our project because of external factors that we couldn't control. And so I'd say we got in trouble in terms of trying to fit the deadline of getting a project out within 8 weeks, but being able to adapt to those situations and overcome them through pivoting and using what we had was really a great growth experience for me. And I think having a challenge like that really helped in improving my adaptability. What AI tools do you consider essential for your role? I think the AI tools I used the most were really generative bots that help me get baselines for frameworks of code. And while it wasn't necessary or vital to getting the job done, it really made me help improve the working speed of everything. And so being able to leverage tools like these allowed me to get work done at a rate that maybe would take 5 people together without an AI bot to do. And so I think while it's not necessary, using generative tools like that to help speed up the process is really vital and something that I'll definitely take into the future in my career. How likely are you to apply for the same role in the future? I think definitely my career trajectory right now is towards the software side of things. And while maybe not exactly the same exact position as a web developer or product engineer like this, I think using the same kinds of tools and staying in the same industry is something that I'm definitely planning on right now. Have you ever challenged your supervisor, and why? Yeah, actually I think there's been a lot of challenging in all of our meetings in terms of just trying to get the best possible solution out there, where it wasn't really confrontation, but it was about how can we have the best idea possible, because it's less of a hierarchical structure here and more peer-to-peer, more about collaborating and working together and bouncing ideas off each other. So in terms of challenging, I'd say there's been a lot of that going both ways in terms of like how can we improve each other and improve all our ideas. What was your favorite part of the workplace? My favorite part of working at Variantz and working in Singapore is the expectations. Whereas back home it would be work for some certain amount of hours and see where that takes you, and not really about focusing on the vision or the future or the completion of the project in the end. Where my favorite part of this was that I was really given the liberty to work on my own terms, do my own things, as long as we could work together in a team, as long as we could get a finished product done. And I'm really thankful that we've been able to have a structure like that at Variantz. Thank you for watching my exit interview video. That's all for me.